You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I am back. Road Trends for Black and White Sports 2. Well, I'm going to be honest here. I'm making this video because essentially we're just thinking out loud here, okay? By the time this comes out, by the time it hits, Jimmy Garoppolo may be signed, sealed, and delivered, and it'll sort of render this video useless. But I saw this right as I was getting ready to go to bed, and I was like, wait, what? And I've got to admit, one thing that crossed my mind, just flashed through my mind, was, you know, Aaron Rodgers to the Jets is not done yet. That's not completed yet. And so I was like, well, that's interesting. Is there a Rodgers in the woodpile somewhere? And then something else hit me in my brain stem. Tom Brady officially became a free agent as well, okay? Now, so we're going to talk about both of those things. I was like, look, it's not fair for you to think about this stuff and deny. You know, we cover a lot of Niners, a lot of Jimmy Garoppolo, a lot of this Aaron Rodgers situation. It was like, you know, Jimmy Garoppolo's deal's not done. They had a press conference scheduled. He was in the building. There's video of him and Josh McDaniels and Philip Dorsett and Jacoby Myers all there together. And they're all, I mean, hey, dapping up. Oh, old school friends. Josh McDaniels looks like the happiest guy in the history of the planet right now because he's got Patriot West going on. We'll see if that works out. Look, whether it's Jimmy or as long as it's another competent quarterback, Raiders going to be pretty good on offense. It's defense that is the problem. Okay, it's defense as to why Derek Carr didn't have the best win-loss record and certainly didn't make it to the playoffs more. I think I saw a stat a while back that said the Raiders essentially, during Derek Carr's tenure, had a bottom three defense on average throughout. And I was like, Jesus, no wonder you didn't win more than you won, you know? So for whatever reason, the club can't seem to get defense right. So they scheduled a press conference. They canceled the press conference. To introduce Jimmy Garoppolo, they canceled it. And I'm like, okay. And it did send NFL fans, especially on PFT, immediately thinking one thing. Is Aaron Rodgers going to the Raiders? That actually crossed my mind. It crossed a lot of NFL fans' mind. It was like, and I was like, well, if I'm going to think about this, if I'm going to speculate on it, and look, I still think the Jets thing is going to happen. But, look, there is precedent for this kind of thing to have happened. Look, I'm just going to show this to you guys. Does anybody remember the fact that Frank Gore was supposed to go to the Eagles back in the day? I think actually twice. And the first time, changed his mind, went to the Colts. Second time, he just decided to retire. But until that contract is signed, Jimmy Garoppolo's still a free agent. All right? Until the Aaron Rodgers thing is pushed through, it's not done. Okay? And now, would that make Aaron Rodgers look incredibly bad after saying, my intention is to play for the Jets? Sure. But part of it, you just got to come out and wonder, would it be his fault? The one thing to remember about deals unofficially done during the free agency negotiation period, and I got PFT here, I got Yahoo Sports, maybe a little athletic Jeff Howe action. They're not officially done until they're officially done. The contract between the Raiders and quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo is not officially done. The team actually delayed Thursday's scheduled press conference while the deal is being finalized. The expectations continue to be that it will be perhaps tonight. The press conference is expected to happen on Friday. Look, it's a 99.7% chance this goes through, okay? There's currently no reason to think the deal won't officially be done, but for now, it's not officially done. This came out. Here's something that happened fairly quietly on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Quarterback Tom Brady is a free agent again because Brady didn't do a one-year dummy deal aimed at spreading his $35.1 million cap number for 2023 over 2 years. His contract with the Buccaneers expired. Now he is a free agent. That retirement letter he sent to the league and the NFLPA 5 weeks ago doesn't matter. He's now a free agent. He can sign with any team at any time. He can talk to any team at any time. It doesn't mean he will, but he can. 2 of his potential destinations, the Dolphins and Niners, likely already closed the door on Brady for 2023. Another team to which Brady has been linked, the Raiders, have a verbal deal with Jimmy Garoppolo that's yet to be consummated. Okay? So, and look, that Jeff Howe comes out here and look, if you want to see this is, let's just do it. Let's rewind it. Josh McDaniels, Jimmy Garoppolo hugging it up right here. This is Jimmy right here, seeing his old buddies. There's Jacoby Myers, little Philip Dorsett action. Josh McDaniels looks like the happiest dude in the room. Yeah, he's got his dudes, and he's got his guys there that can run a very, very complicated offensive system. And guys, I cannot stress how hard that offensive system is. I mean, guys like Chad Johnson just gave up. Couldn't do it. Couldn't figure it out. That's why he was a bust in New England. He never could learn the offense. This is the notable veteran quarterbacks available in free agency if this was to fall through for some reason. Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan, Teddy Bridgewater, Marcus Mariota, who just signed with the Eagles. I got up to that this morning. Mason Rudolph, Joe Flacco, and this is an interesting one. Brian Hoyer just got cut by the Patriots. All of those players would be a significant downgrade from Garoppolo. Now, this came out. Raiders inquired about Aaron Rodgers' number 1 pick before signing Jimmy Garoppolo. According to Jeff Howe of The Athletic, the Raiders called the Packers to inquire about Aaron Rodgers. And they called the Bears about potentially trading for the number 1 overall pick before Chicago ultimately agreed to trade it to Carolina. When it looked like the Rodgers might be on his way out of Green Bay and would still play in 2023, the Raiders were one of the teams thought to be interested in the QB. Rodgers' former teammate, receiver Devontae Adams, even said it would, quote, be a dream come true. And it should be noted, that's Rodgers, self-admittedly, that's Rodgers' favorite player that he's ever played with. Now, so the Garoppolo deal doesn't happen, so immediately NFL fans started talking about the obvious. Jets on line 1. And they're talking about for Jimmy Garoppolo, okay? The long creeping shadow of Aaron Rodgers is back on the radar. Raiders, sure, Packers, they will give you a first-round pick and some change. I'd love it. Raiders keep on raidering. A lot of people are just, they want to throw Josh McDaniels and the Raiders under the bus on this. The deal will be finalized tonight. Josh McDaniels, I mean, you're not breaking any news. I think the deal's going to get done too. The Jets should snag Jimmy and tell the Packers to pound sand. I got to admit, it would be utterly hilarious. And Robert Saleh is out there, former defensive coordinator for, you guessed it, the Niners. So, Aaron, you like Vegas? Question mark? Wow. Lamar Jackson on line 1. Gutekunst on line 1 to the Raiders. Jets did this to themselves. That would get really awkward considering they've already done the Allen Lazard thing. And look, there's speculation out there that Jimmy Garoppolo might not have passed his physical. That might be a thing, okay? So, but I thought it was interesting because, I was talking to Matrix and I said, they canceled Garoppolo's press conference. And, Rodgers was heavily rumored to the Raiders, along with the Jets. That was the two teams. For all the weeks leading up, the Raiders were one of the two teams that was thought to have been in on Rodgers. Sure enough, we find out they did inquire to see what was going on. Rodgers and that deal is still not done. The Jets don't seem to be willing to give the Packers what they want. I can't say I blame them, okay? And I don't know why the Packers are so worried about Rodgers playing in 2024. If you think he's washed up, then what is the deal? That's what I said yesterday. And a lot of people are kind of starting to do the Jets should tell the Packers to take a flying leap. I mean, I don't know how Jets fans feel about that because they believe they're getting Aaron Rodgers. That whole city is fired up, It made it on all the newspapers, New York Post, New York Daily News, all of that, after the Pat McAfee thing where he says, I intend to play for the Jets. All right, so it's odd. Tom Brady, Rodgers, both of whom have been leaked to the Raiders. Garoppolo's not officially done unless it happened overnight, and it's 7:40 in the morning Central Time in Texas. Okay, may have happened. Maybe signed, sealed, delivered. But what about his physical? Did he pass it? Can he pass it? Will this deal ever get done? It's kind of turning into a mess. I believe the deal is going to happen. Okay, I do. But it's worth noting because a lot of people still think Tom Brady will play. A lot of people do. And it was confirmed. Dana White, Rob Gronkowski both confirmed it. Tom Brady was going to the Raiders before he decided to go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. John Gruden was the one that said, we're not getting Tom Brady. I decided I didn't want him. Oops. Yikes. You might still be a coach, but those emails were still floating around. I still say he shouldn't have been fired for that. Tell me what you think. A lot of people are going to be like, man, what the F, blah, blah, blah. Look, we're going to talk about it. You never know. Clickbait, blah, blah, blah. I'd like people to click, yeah. That's the point of making them. All right, tell me what you think, Black and White Sports 2 supporters. I'm like, man, if I'm going to just speculate about this and think about it and let it swash around inside my brain stem, then my goodness, we're doing it on video. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.